I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is a Marshall Minute Brampton Now update for the week ending the June 20th, 21st weekend, 2020. Happy Father's Day. This is a succinct, once-a-week hotshot of everything important that has happened in Brampton the previous week and what's coming up. Brampton's only professionally produced broadcast, nobody's media lapdog, telling you about how beautiful the Emperor's clothes are. I call it like I see it, good or bad. Coming up, the farmers market will reopen. Mayor Patrick Brown, what is the most important thing we're doing right now?
I like to say testing, testing, testing.
Get that? Testing. Patios have been given the green light to expand their patio space once the province gives the green light to open back up again. Plus, Jagmeet Singh explains why he was kicked out of Parliament this week. Details on that and more coming up on this Brampton Now update. Here's the week's top stories in Brampton. The iconic Brampton Farmers Market is reopening under strict conditions, such as all in attendance will wear masks. Here's Mayor Patrick Brown on the market.
As of June 27th, we will run until Saturday, October 24th for a total of 18 weeks. Market hours will be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we're taking a few initiatives to help make this possible. First, all vendors and customers will be required to wear a mask while at the market. Hand sanitization stations will be available throughout the market that the city is going to set up. Much like grocery store operations, a defined number of people will be admitted to the market area at any one time, and there will be one entrance and one exit, so we can control the amount of people at the farmers market and make sure that it is safe. But it's going to be a great opportunity to support local businesses, to support local produce, and it really is an iconic signature Brampton event in the summer.
Testing is ramping up in Brampton. Testing is an essential piece of the puzzle in getting a handle on the data. Here's Mayor Patrick Brown once again.
And sure, we've seen some case numbers grudgingly continue, but we are isolating them, we are making progress, and testing is a big part of that. The fact that we have tested the most people in the province at this hospital is something that I'm very proud of, because we know testing is one of the key tools we have in terms of dealing with this difficult COVID-19 virus.
After weeks of being the bearer of bad news, Dr. Lawrence Lowe with some good news this time.
We continue, though, to observe a reduction in new daily cases in the region of Peel as we push towards our goal of 0 new cases. And while we will not enter phase 1 on Friday, Brampton's picture is improving. And for that, I say thank you, Bramptonians, for taking the core 4 behaviors seriously. Please continue to maintain a 2-meter distance, wear a non-medical mask where that's not possible, wash your hands regularly, and stay home and get tested if you feel sick.
And our Chief Medical Officer of Health explains social circles and social gatherings.
Social circles permit up to 10 people built on an immediate household. Those within that circle can enjoy close contact with each other, but must practice distancing with anyone outside of that circle. Social gatherings, by contrast, can also host up to 10 people, but they should always involve physical distancing and the core 4 behaviors. This is all about making it easier to keep track of your interactions and keep track in general if we need to trace. You just need to remember who's in your circle, and distancing outside of it reduces the risk of transmission.
Idiot tax tickets are still being given out. City Councillor Jeff Bowman added some comments on the charges that are still being laid by the city's bylaw department.
Brampton still remains in phase 1 of the lockdown because there are a small number of people in this community who still are failing to observe the bylaws that we've put in place to ensure that everybody in this community stays healthy and we stop the spread of this disease as quickly as we can.
Coming up in a moment, the feds announce an extension of the pandemic benefits. More of Ontario opens up to stage 2, but not us. But a patio is in your future. Once restaurants and bars can open up, the city will allow expanded patios. That and more coming up on this Brampton Now update. On Monday last week, the Prime Minister announced that the CERB benefits would continue. The benefits were supposed to end after 16 weeks, but they will now continue for those collecting them. Monday, Premier Doug Ford announced further areas entering Stage 2 of relaxed measures, which saw a few more areas enter the more relaxed protocols. However, not us here in Peel Region. Reports say that Peel won't be ready for Stage 2 until the end of June at the earliest. Tuesday, the Prime Minister announced that the border would remain closed yet a further month to nothing but authorized commercial traffic. Also on Tuesday, a new COVID-19 drive-through testing center opened at South Fletcher's Sportsplex North parking lot. It's put on by the William Osler Health System. It runs 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. The Peel Memorial testing site is now closed. Restaurants in Brampton will be allowed to expand their patios onto sidewalks and private parking areas to accommodate more outdoor seating space once permission is received from the province to reopen outdoor dine-in services. At this time, the Ontario government has not permitted restaurants and bars and other establishments in the region of Peel to reopen. Outdoor patio and sidewalk permit fees will also be waived for 2020 to help the local restaurants and small businesses in their recovery. Brampton City Council recently approved plans for Brampton Transit's fully electric transit maintenance and storage facility. It'll be a milestone in the city of Brampton's commitment to bringing a green city. Brampton Transit's third facility will be one of the largest new bus facilities in North America, constructed to help support a fully electric, zero-emission bus fleet in the future. Coming up, on the homeless and vulnerable people files, City Councillor Jeff Bowman had an update to date and some hint of what the city is perhaps looking at to solve some of the issues of homelessness and poverty permanently. More on that coming up on Brampton Now Update.
Stay out my way. I'm going to play football with my friends, and there's nothing you can.
Silence! You think this is funny, eh? You can get the deadly coronavirus.
The gorilla virus?
No, the coronavirus. Do you know what will happen when you do? Do you?
Ha! What will happen?
You will bring the coronavirus home and then infect everyone. Mommy will be sick, no more jollof rice.
Huh?
Daddy will be sick, no more going out to see movies.
Oh no! Not the movies, no!
Even worse, the government will come and take Mommy and Daddy away.
You're just making it up.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
See for yourself.
Okay, it's real! It's real! What should we do?
The coronavirus is out there. We should stay at home for now. Always wash our hands with soap and water so we can prevent it from spreading.
Boo!
Stay home, stay safe from all of us at Ant Hill Studios.
At the city's news conference on Wednesday, City Councillor Jeff Bowman, who sits on the city's committee to help the vulnerable sector, gave this report.
On the Social Support Task Force front, we've had 14 weeks now of delivering food, of working with volunteers, of taking care of the homeless and the most vulnerable in our community. And we've had about 2,700 emergency food deliveries, and of those, about half of those were not just food, they were other essential items. They were baby products, they were cleaning products, all of which our 4 anchor organizations were able to supply, so we're very pleased with that.
Bowman also gave some clue that the city would not be dropping the ball helping the vulnerable.
Through our work, we've seen firsthand now some of the things that we need to start taking care of as the pandemic decreases. We need to be working with our provincial partners, with our regional partners on these issues to make sure that we can have things in place that prevent homelessness, that prevent the encampments from opening up. Part of the lessons we've learned from COVID-19.
Brampton Rotary have been dropping off a pickup truckload or two every week to fill in the needs of some essentials at the Regen Food Bank. If memory serves, we haven't missed a week at the Regen Food Bank being opened, and Rotary hasn't pulled in with a truckload or two of donations. This is their donation from Friday. Coming up in a moment, some of what's ahead in Brampton to entertain, inform, and move you. Coming up on the Brampton Now Update.
Food is life. For some in Brampton, food may be scarce during this crisis. Regeneration Brampton and Knight's Table are on the front lines of helping the vulnerable. Donations of food or money help them help those who need it the most. This is a challenge for everyone. Imagine if you also had to find food. Visit regenbrampton.com or knightstable.org to see how you can help.
Upcoming this week in Brampton, Father's Day, of course, on Sunday. It's National Indigenous Peoples Day on Sunday as well, starting at 11 a.m. online at brampton.ca. A range of events, including a presentation from Indigenous scholar Jessie Thistle, who is also the author of the current bestseller From the Ashes and has been on the book charts now for months. If you know Jessie's story, literally from the streets in Brampton, from the ashes to best-selling author and internationally recognized scholar. He's a true inspiration to everyone. There will also be music from Twin Flames. The event is organized in partnership with the Indigenous Network. National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, is celebrated at brampton.ca from 11 a.m. on the Sunday. On Monday, most customer service counters at Brampton Transit will reopen. On July 2nd, masks will become mandatory on Brampton Transit, and front door boarding and fare payment will resume. Also, on Monday, June 22nd, Instagram live chat at 2 p.m. Brampton youth are invited to talk about school. It's hosted by Mayor Patrick Brown on his Instagram channel, @PatrickBrownONT, with school board trustees Kathy McDonald and Anna De Silva to chat about closures, support, and more. Brampton Board of Trade has a Facebook Live of the top 10 COVID-19 safety tips for businesses reopening, 1 p.m. on Wednesday, the 24th. Find out more on their Facebook page or on their website, bramptonbot.com. Next Saturday, June 27th, the Brampton Farmers Market reopens with all the restrictions in place that I mentioned earlier. We'll leave strolling through the market for another year, sadly. Brampton Music Theatre has started a fundraising contest called Catch the Ace. It's at bmtcatchtheace.ca. Details about the game on the website. BMT also continues online training programs on their website at bramptonmusictheatre.com. Coming up, a Marshall Rant. My take on the continued call for justice that we're seeing around the world and across Brampton. And NDP leader Jagmeet Singh gets thrown out of Parliament. That's coming up on Brampton Now Update. Standing up for justice is important, and that is what's been going on these past few weeks. Justice had been denied, and those who had been denied justice won't stand for it any longer. I don't blame them. Justice denied in a democracy is wrong. It's a no-brainer that we should oppose that. There are no political sides to that. There's just justice and not justice. So I want to applaud the folks who gathered last weekend at Ching Park for Black Lives Matter, and the group that marched Wednesday from the Brampton courthouse down to the school board building, specifically to protest the justice that seems so elusive at the school board. Come on. I want to recognize people like Jermaine Chambers, Dwight Campbell, certified unicorn breeder, you know who you are, school trustee Kathy McDonald, and Mayor Patrick Brown, who brought his family last Wednesday. Now, some will say, drawing a false equivalency, why can't I have a backyard party then? And thus you will illustrate how badly you miss the point of all of this. Risk has to be weighed with benefit. Maybe it's tone deafness that makes some believe that this incredible movement for justice denied, justice demanded now, is at the same level as having Boomer and Karen over for tuna pasta salad that's been in the sun too long and half-cooked chicken dogs. No, this is a movement, a revolution, a time that has come now. A historic moment to be alive. And I'm proud to be a supporter of my friends, proud to stand for justice in our democracy. It's time. I'll tell you someone who stood for justice and against racism this week. That was Jagmeet Singh, who hurled the word racist at a Bloc Québécois MP. Some may comment, well, everybody's a racist these days. Yeah, no. What's happening is racists are being called out, like Jagmeet Singh did.
So today we brought forward a motion, and the motion was a pretty simple motion. Tackling systemic racism is going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort, but there's some clear steps we can take. One is to call out that yes, indeed, everyone in this House, the House of Commons, in Parliament acknowledges that there is systemic racism in the RCMP. Let's name that and make it clear. And then we went on in the motion to lay out some really clear steps. De-escalation should be your priority. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. We should be reviewing use of force because people should not be brutally beaten up over an expired license plate. And we put forward some changes around, shouldn't we respond to a health crisis with healthcare workers? Shouldn't they get funding instead of police? And in that moment, we put forward this motion that I thought, given where we are, given what's going on, given the lack of action, here's something we can do concretely to actually make a difference. And when the motion was presented, I heard a lot of people saying yes. And the speaker was about to move forward and accept that there was a lot of yeses. And then I heard one no. And the speaker didn't hear it. And then that MP repeated louder so he could be heard. And I looked back and he saw me look back and kind of shocked that anyone would say no to this motion. Federal jurisdiction, clear path to do something about systemic racism in a moment where everyone's demanding action. And I looked back and I saw that MP not only say no, but make eye contact with me and just kind of brush his hand, dismiss it. And in that moment, I got angry. I'll be honest, I got angry. But I'm sad now. Because why can't we act? Why can't we do something to save people's lives? We can do something. And why would someone say no to that?
In Parliament, if you call someone a bad word that starts with F, you get thrown out. If you use a word that starts with A, you get thrown out. But racist? Well, maybe calling out a racist is just uttering the truth. And should you be thrown out of Parliament for uttering the truth? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this week. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube or follow #MarshallMinute on Facebook for lots of Brampton need to know that you won't find anywhere else. Your comments and suggestions are always welcome. And if you've got a Brampton story to tell, get in touch with me through the channel you're watching on now. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching Brampton Now Update.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.